Have you heard about this new law called the One Big Beautiful Bill? Yep, that's exactly what it is called. It was signed into law on July 4th. Big headlines, a lot of political buzz. But let's be real. What does it actually mean for immigrants? Especially if you have got a green card or you're planning to apply for one soon. I'll walk you through what's changing. No legal jargon really, but real talk. Now, if you're new here, I'm Simon Shetty, the founder of Smart Green Card, and we've had over 200 immigrants successfully get their EB-1A, their O-1A, and their NIW green cards using real, proven, legitimate strategies. If you're considering any of these visas, head over to the Smart Green Card website. You'll find a free profile evaluator tool. We don't charge you anything for that. Once you fill in your details, our team reviews your profile and shares your eligibility and possible next steps for our program. No cost, no catch. The decision is completely yours. Now, let's get into the topic. First of all, healthcare just got tougher. Let's talk about healthcare generally. We know that it's a mess in America. Under this new law, it's getting harder for green card holders to get Medicaid. There's always been a 5-year waiting period, but in the past, a lot of states made exceptions, especially for pregnant women or even kids. Now, most of those exceptions are gone, and it hits new immigrants the hardest, especially folks in lower paying jobs who don't really get health insurance from their workplace. So if your family is just getting started in the US, this could possibly mean getting big medical bills in those early years when you're still finding your footing in the industry, unless your employer is one of the good ones that foots the entire health insurance amount for you. The second thing is the new visa fee plus hefty fines, really. Visa costs and fines, well, there's a new $250 fee being added if you apply for a non-immigrant visa, and here's the tough one. If you miss a court hearing, even by mistake, you could be fined up to $5,000. And yeah, it is time to triple check your calendar, set your reminders, double set your reminders, and keep all your documents in order. The third thing is there's a 1% tax being proposed or adopted on sending money home. And this is what is actually going to affect a lot of people. So starting in January of 2026, there's a 1% tax on any money you send abroad. So let's say you send $1,000 to your family back home, and that's a $10 tax on every $1,000 you send. That doesn't sound huge at first, right? But if you send money often, it adds up real quick, including all the conversion costs and all the other things going on. So this one hits hard for anyone who regularly supports family outside the US. But that's a way to avoid it, and this part is important. If your transfer is done through a US bank account or funded by a US issued debit or credit card, then you're exempt from the 1% tax, and this is what most people don't really understand. So keep in mind that one nuance, and probably it might help you. The fourth item is stricter rules for benefits like food or rent help. Now, let's talk about governmental help. Like, these are food stamps, housing support, or unemployment. Well, I'm not a huge fan of immigrants making use of those support by and large. And this new law says that if you are an adult without kids, you'll now need to work at least 80 hours a month. That's about 20 hours a week just to qualify for these benefits. And that's a big change for many green card holders who are probably in school or caring for kids or elderly parents or working part-time, and doesn't really stop there. States are now required to do more checks to catch fraud, but that can also mean delays or even getting denied even if you qualify. Now, mind you, I'm not a big fan of immigrants making use of welfare, and that puts a massive burden from outside on the US welfare system. But this is one update that you need to keep in mind if you are using any sort of government provisions for your benefit. Just to wrap this up, look, this isn't to scare you. It's about being ready. So your green card still gives you freedom, the stability, and a path to citizenship. But laws around public benefits are shifting, and that changes how we plan our day-to-day life. So from healthcare and money transfers all the way to visa costs and food support, this bill touches a lot of real life stuff. And the earlier you know, the easier it is to adjust and stay ahead of the curve. So yeah, the name might be One Big Beautiful Bill, but for immigrants, it's also one big reminder. You need to stay informed, and do everything right. Here's what helps. Explore healthcare coverage options for the first 5 years. Keep reminders for all USCIS and legal deadlines and updates. Factor in that 1% tax if you send money abroad if you're not following the caveats that I mentioned. And if something gets denied, don't panic. Legal aid and nonprofits are out there to help you, so seek that necessary help. So if this video made things a little bit clearer, do me a favor, hit that like button and share it with someone who might need it, so that you stay in the loop of all the updates that we post. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one.